Hey everyone, it's James Lambert, the motivational coach and speaker. You know, I went from knockouts to knowledge and from headlocks to hugs. I still embrace people, just now in a more positive way. So hello to you and welcome to this fantastic Friday. I hope you've woken up full of enthusiasm and you're going about your business with great passion and love. So you join me, and it's a beautiful day weather-wise out there. Really, it's like summer is finally here. Second week of August here. It's a good day. Every day's a good day when you're living with purpose and you've got great joy in your heart. But definitely the weather certainly helps. So yeah, I hope you're really well. And in today's broadcast, I entitled it "Fear is a Liar." And I want to give you some context. In my own life, previously, particularly when I was fighting, in the moments before a fight, whether that was in the field, bare knuckle, whether that was in the ring, with gloves on, in the cage, on the door, wherever it was, immediately before the fight, and sometimes, in the case if I knew one was coming up, weeks beforehand, there'd be a steady drip of fear. Now yes, we know scientifically it's the adrenal glands getting sparked and so on, and yet I lived for a huge portion of my life with massive amounts of fear, so much so in fact that it became my friend. And so now when I do public speaking, what other people would think intimidating, I think, what's the worst that can happen? Nobody's actually gonna try and assault me like on the door or fighting for my life. So in comparison, it pales. But the point is, I realised that fear was actually a liar. That even earlier than the fighting, I remember when I was like a little person, 5 or 6, and I got called to the headmaster's office. Oh my goodness, I was filled with fear, absolutely filled with dread, from the soles of my little shoes right up to my little head that wasn't so bald then. And I'll never forget that walk. I deliberately tried to take as long as possible, as if that would put off the inevitable. I remember in primary school there was a headmaster, Mr. Lyons, a particularly sadistic man. Obviously he grew up with the old paradigm, and he did, I suppose today it would be termed as abuse, but he did used to like try and hurt you and hit you, whatever. The point being, I was at that point very fearful of him and afraid. And yet, what I built up in my mind, oh my God, the dread, the fear that literally almost stopped me from moving, almost immobilised me. Once I met him, once the punishment had been meted out, it was never ever as bad as I'd made it out to be in my mind. Now this happened time and time again. I remember one time getting suspended from school, and I'll never forget, I was myself on the way home. I was imagining what my mum would do, what my father would do, and my mum was fearsome at the time. I really dreaded going home and having to face the fact and tell them that I was suspended. And I'll never forget that afternoon after. I really was, goodness, I mean, talk about depressed. I was in a state of enormous anxiety and fear. And yet, lo and behold, the reality of it was, the punishment was never as bad as I made it out to be in my mind. Now, what does that mean for you in your life? I'm telling you that your fear is a liar. If you are allowing yourself, if you're allowing fear to stop you from living and showing up fully in life, I'm calling it out for you. Fear is a liar. If you are letting fear stop you from doing anything new and exciting, from learning a foreign language, from going to a dance or gymnastics class, from learning something new, from going to a foreign land, stop letting fear be an excuse. It's a liar. The closer you get to it, you see that very much like a shadow, it dissolves. Now, don't misunderstand me right off the bat. I'm not talking about the very prudent so-called fear that is really just intellect telling your survival instincts coming into play. If you saw like a grizzly bear running towards you, or you know, you crossed the train tracks and there was a locomotive hurtling towards you, that type of fear is a very correct perceiving of a potential threat. So that's your survival instincts kicking in. I'm not talking about that fear. That fear is prudent and there's a time for that. So, but I'm talking about the fear that stops you from, that's almost a disability in as much as it stops you from living. As I said, the fear of what other people think. My goodness, that's a massive one. Are they going to judge what you wear, how you speak, the clothes you enjoy? Yeah, anything, take anything, the music you listen to, the job you do, the movies you watch, on and on and on it goes. The company you keep, the way you keep your hair. No more. That kind of the fear. What would they think? Who cares? Fear is a liar. Do you? And the joke is you unconsciously give others permission to be their truest and most bravest, authentic selves. And also put it this way. If they still maintain their negative opinions of you, were they ever friends to begin with? Do you really want that sort of person in your life, in your inner circle? I humbly suggest you don't. For if they are not supportive of you and your choices, let them go. You're better off without them. For in truth, you only want people in your and your family's lives that edify you, that uplift you, that encourage you, that motivate you. And if you haven't got anyone like that, you know what? You're better off on your own. Be your own motivation. And the beautiful thing about today with these Facebook live feeds and Twitter, Periscope and on YouTube channels, you can find sources of inspiration and motivation that do uplift you. So I say no more. Recognize that fear is a liar and draw a line, as it were, metaphorically or literally. Draw a line in the sand and declare that from today, from this afternoon onwards, that you are going to begin challenging fear. So anytime it stopped, oh, what would they think? Oh, I want to do that, but oh, what if I fail? Stop it. And another thing I want to leave you with, I suggest something what I call what if up thinking. It was something I came across in the book of the same name by a lady called Mindy Audlin, an American author. What if up thinking, and she suggested that you are using your imagination anyway in imagining the worst. Oh, what if it all goes wrong? What if they all laugh at me? What if this? What if that? She said, if you're using your imagination, why not imagine what she calls what if up thinking? What if it all goes right? What if they all love me? What if I go to that dance and I meet my future lover, my mate for life? What if up thinking? Think positively. As I say, we're using our imaginations all day, every day, but most of us, no judgment, but just being honest, most of us, and I was the biggest proponent of this previously, most of us use it negatively, and we think, therefore expect and create the worst. So I invite you to think positively. What if it all goes right? Challenge your fears head on and expose fear for the lie that it is. So I hope that's been of help to you. As I say, for a long time, particularly before the fights, I was filled with fear. And yet as I stepped into the arena, as I faced my fear, and it was never, that's the joke, it was never, I thought it was the opponent stepping across from me. It was never them. It was all self-created. It was the fear I imagined that never came true. And if they did, as and when the so-called obstacle or challenge broached itself, I had the ability, and so have you, to deal with it. So you deal with it in its own due course, not beforehand, not by worrying about it. Step towards, what did I read recently? I think it's attributed to Joseph Campbell. The cave you fear to enter holds all that you seek. Now that's not verbatim, but it implies that, you know, all of your power, all of your greatness, everything you want, the success, and however you term it, and it's not just materialistic, not just about the fiscal amount in your bank, all of the success that you're looking for lies behind your fears. So challenge them, and from this day on, go towards them and expose them for the lie they are. So I hope you found value in this video. If you have, brilliant. Please do like it and share. I'm trying to build a community of like-minded, positive people who are about their business and about making the most of their life now, today, and going forwards towards their goals and dreams, whatever they may be. So from my heart to yours, much love, and know this, you, yes you, are unstoppable, and I believe in you.